Great. Okay. Good afternoon to the WorldCoin Talk community. Tonight we have an AMA with signed trade. Here to speak about that is Ashton, and there's a lot of musicians here tonight as well. It's based on artists and musicians, on the platform. So we could just maybe go into a bit of your background, Ashton, in crypto, and then go into what's happening with their signed coin and signed trade.
Yeah, so I'm relatively new to the crypto scene. I jumped into the space about 5 months ago when I met with Kaz and the Sidekick team. And the reason why I jumped into this space is because of the creation of the Sign Trade platform. I launched a platform back in January of 2021, the beta, where I was experimenting with new ways for musicians to receive funding from fans, how fans could invest in musicians they love and make money with their music. We started off as a platform that collected musicians' data and turned how well their streaming numbers did into a tangible, tradable value. We got 650 musicians on this platform. Musicians really liked the platform and it did well, but we decided that the next step and how to really push this to the next level was to jump into the crypto space. And I can actually show you here what the legacy would look like. So like I said, we had 650 musicians on this platform. People love it. Users love it. Fans, musicians love it. But we decided to jump on over to the crypto side. So a little bit into why I created the platform. It's actually a two-sided coin. As a fan of music myself, I'm a huge fan of underground musicians and kind of finding like the next up-and-coming musician that I can follow and love, and I think they're going to blow. And over the years, I've followed so many musicians that got big, and I love to see them grow. But as a fan, I wish that I could have invested in a way, or backed a musician while they were still small, and financially grown with them. And there aren't really many avenues for fans and musicians to have this kind of financial connection that kind of creates an even stronger bond between fan and musician. Fan-powered investment in music is the future of the music business. Now, the other side of this coin is with the musicians not really needing the funding they have from current revenue streams, other than hoping to get support from a label. So musicians have been able to garner fan bases and get enough support to have a lot of people, thousands of people listening to their music and supporting them. But still, in a lot of cases nowadays, musicians hope to gain these large pools of fans in the hope of attracting a major label and getting a large loan that they pay back over time to a label, usually needing to sell off their intellectual property or masters as well. So how do you fix this problem where these musicians already have these large fan bases, but they still need to get the attention of a label and exchange masters and intellectual property for loans? Well, the answer is pretty obvious, and it kind of just slapped me in the face, whereas the fans power the musician, and they share the revenue that the musician creates. And this way, musicians get to keep all of their intellectual property, their masters, and they're backed by people who truly love the musician and have followed them their entire music career and truly want to see their music succeed. So I'll show everyone here a demo of how the platform works. You'll be able to purchase the signed token on our platform as well as individual musicians' tokens on the platform. Currently, the only token that is available for purchase is a contribution to the pre-sale for the signed token. We're about 30K away from hard cap. So when you click into a token, you're able to see the ticker name of the token. You're able to see what tracks back the token, which streaming platforms royalties will be coming from for this token, how much royalties have been generated for said token. We can connect our wallet here. And while this is connecting, I would like to say that every single market generation event, every single transaction fee.
Sharing a screen. Sorry, Ashton. Can I just? Are you sharing your screen?
Yeah. Can you not see it?
No, I can't see it. Can anyone else see it?
I can see it.
I can see it. Yep.
I actually cannot see it either.
Yeah, I can see it.
Did you maybe only show it to a certain amount of people?
I just
recommend unsharing it and then trying again.
Yeah, I'll do that. How about now?
No.
No.
Okay. That is strange.
I can share my screen and you can let me know if you can see that.
Okay, we can do that. If you could put into your Google search bar beta.sign.trade.
Beta.sign.trade. Okay, hold on. Let me just share this screen. It says, let me know if you can see my screen. Did I type it right?
It might be
Dot
typed in wrong.
.sign.trade, not sign. ED at the end of sign. Yeah.
Well then. Oops. Sorry, guys.
I may only have to be the one with permission. Okay, good. You have permissions. So back into what I was talking about, if you could click back into the sign token. So that there, yeah. Every single musician that we launch with on our site feeds back into the sign token. 1% off of royalties, each royalty payout, and our custom-made royalty pump contract feeds back into the sign token. 10% from each transaction fee a musician may accrue feeds back into the sign token, and 1% off of each market generation event that a musician raises goes back into the sign token. So an investment into the sign token is essentially an investment into all the musicians on our platform. But I think it would be good to show everyone some visuals and a video. So if you hit that "what is it" at the top of the page, there's a short 1.5 minute video that I think would be beneficial for everybody.
So, what is Signs 2.0? Let's pretend your favorite musician's stage name is Claro.
Yep, the video went away.
Claro has decided to work with us and create Claro Coin. We began to
Can you guys not see it?
No.
Well, okay, well. Maybe may I suggest if you try to share your screen again?
Sure, I'll give that a go.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Can you see it now?
I can't see it now. Maybe if you go out the room and back in, maybe it's some sort of glitch with Telegram. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's weird because I can see it too.
Yeah, I can see it too. It might be the people that can't see it might need to leave and come back in.
All right, let's try that again. And how about now?
I can see it.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to run this video for everyone.
So, what is Signed 2.0? Let's pretend your favorite musician's stage name has decided to work with us and create Claro Coin. We begin to distribute music that Claro provides to us and use the royalties earned on these tracks to back Claro Coin. Anyone who owns Claro Coin is paid out in dividends from royalties made on these tracks. The more Claro Coin owned and staked, the more you're paid out from Claro's music. Claro gets funding without needing a label, and you get to make money with her. Now you may be thinking, what does Signed Coin have to do with all this? Signed Coin makes passive income off of every trade and royalties generated from musicians. 1% off of royalties to be exact, whereas most labels ask for 50 to 80% from artists, all while musicians keep 100% of their intellectual property and masters. Did I mention musicians are given Signed Coin for working with us and have a shared effort in the success of the platform? Holding Signed Coin is an investment into all the creatives on our network and the future of the music business.
So yeah, that was just a quick video I wanted everyone to see, kind of give a really brief overview of what we're doing here and along with some visuals. So I'll get back into the demo now. So every single musician will go through the same process that the sign token is going through. They'll have their own market generation event that you can fund with their own individual hard caps. There is a base minimum of 100 Matic that each musician will need to raise. This may be raised in the future, but this is the current requirement. You'll be able to see information regarding a token contract at the bottom and the market generation event. The token generation event contract as well can all be viewed on our platform with a click. This has been designed with new users to crypto in mind, as a lot of the musicians we're onboarding, their fans are not really familiar with crypto. So it's easiest for them to be able to use fiat straight to Matic because we are using the Polygon chain. So we have them in mind. We have the Get Matic button here, which directs us directly to Ramp Network, which is an official crypto asset vetted by the government of England. So we can buy Matic here, easy to use for any user, all with fiat cash. We can contribute here as well to the market generation event, and we can see how much has been raised so far for this musician, or in this case, the signed token. Once we go back post-market generation event, what we see is we are able to actually use the QuickSwap network all within the platform. So a user never has to leave the platform. It's made very, very user-friendly with new users in mind. I can trade Matic for the God token here, using Cartier God as our example. And we can swap the God token for Matic as well. So there's always liquidity in each token thanks to liquidity pool mechanisms. We can add the token to our MetaMask. So it appears. We can claim our tokens once we contribute it as well. This is all easy and user-friendly. So we've just added our God token there, so we don't have to worry about knowing how to import. Once we purchased our God token, we can then also stake within the platform, all right here. It is needed to stake a token in order to get paid out in rewards, so that a user can get paid out from royalties and transaction fees that happen within the God token. We also will begin to see how well Cartier God is tracking right here as soon as the market generation event ends. So we can see up-to-date instantaneous information regarding on how well his token is trading. We can preview Cartier's music here, get a little taste of how his music sounds and what we like about it. We can see his Spotify here, and we can see what genres of music he is. Go through and show you each of the 5 musicians that we're launching with. The one I was just demoing is Cartier God. I know that he's in the call, and we can talk to him a little bit later on. 175,000 monthly listeners, well known in the underground scene, the rap scene. He has distributed the song Love You Down through Signs. And another cool thing about Signed is we get to see the song that's backing with the royalties, but if we actually click into the song here, you can verify with every single musician we work with. If you scroll down, you can see LLC is indeed the one who is distributing the track, and you can verify that the royalties will be going out to you as the staker. This will be for every single musician we work with. There will be that verification that you can see there. The other musician that we're launching with is Joey. He has 7,000 monthly listeners. We distributed the song Dillard's Order Confirmation, which is now at 16,000 streams. The third musician we're working with is HM Surf with 2 million monthly listeners. Has worked with musicians such as Doja Cat and Ugly God. He has released the single Tokes through us and has plans for many more things to come. The fourth musician who is in the call with Joey right now is Big Flame. He's moving towards a new kind of electronic dance style at 1.3 thousand monthly listeners. And our youngest and most underground musician is Marlon DuBois at 947 monthly listeners with the song that we just released, Tough Chance, with him. So this platform is really creating a new bond between fan and musician, something that kind of hasn't been seen before. There are platforms out there that offer NFTs that pay out in royalties, but a major difference with this platform is that the musician has their own ERC Elite token. And this can be backed by anything, not just royalties. We are starting with royalties, but this can be backed by ticket sales. It can be backed by merchandise. It can be backed by NFTs. It can be backed by pretty much anything monetary that a musician makes. We are already in talks with other musicians to back their tokens with more than just songs. So, like I said, an NFT, every single time it trades, it goes back into the token. Or, for example, Cartier God sells these plush dolls that sell very well. A certain percentage of sales could go back to feed the investors of the token. When musicians go on tours, ticket sales can go back to feed stakers of the musician token. So this is kind of a one-stop shop for fans and investors alike to put money into musicians they view as undervalued and have a lot of potential to rise in what they're worth with their music and their brand, essentially. I think Cartier God's going to blow up in the future, and he's very undervalued as a musician, and the royalties that he makes, the amount of how much his NFT is trading is undervalued. I buy in now. That all feeds back into me as a staker. Every single musician we work with, their music has an agreement of distribution with Signed for 1 year, and we let investors know every 6 months if that has been renewed. The agreement of distribution states that a musician cannot pull out from us distributing. So as an investor that it is safe, your money is safe, the royalties will be paying you out the entire time that agreement is underway, and there will be warnings if a musician has not agreed to re-sign. Yeah.
With the musicians having their own token, are you making the contracts for them?
Yes, the guys over at Psychic are, and we have their own actual model for how each token is built. So depending on the musician and interest we see for a musician, pre-sale funds may be built differently, hard caps may differ, but this general build is model, and we do recommend and are trying to make it so that musicians have the same build for each deploy. All musicians will have the same royalty pump distribution, which is a unique contract we've written for them. So every single time royalties pay out, 49% goes into the liquidity of that token, 1% goes back to the Signed token, and 50% goes out to stakers of that token. Tokenomics for the musician token is 10% of the base transaction tax of 5%. 10% goes to the Signed token, 10% goes to liquidity, 30% goes back to the musician, and 60% goes to stakers. So it is highly beneficial and in a musician's interest to continue to bring in investors and awareness of their token. Musicians also own 10% of total supply of their token, but there is a 6-month vesting period. With 3 months, musician can sell 50% off if they would like, and then another 6 months, another 50%. This is, of course, in order to protect any token holders of said token. If we go into the, sorry?
Very cool. But I was just wondering if you're an investor with Claro, would you be able to get a pre-sale on these tokens, or will it just launch on the platform?
Yep. So every single musician will go through their own pre-sale, just like here with the Signed token, there will be a pre-sale. Like I said, the cap for each pre-sale will really depend on the size of the musician and the interest that is found in the pre-sale. But every single musician will go through a pre-sale, a market generation event, and every musician will have, a post market generation where they could swap. So yes, every single musician on our platform will have their own market generation event pre-sale. And in that pre-sale, they have to raise at least 100 Matic in order to mint, but that may be raised in the future.
There'll be maybe advantages to being a Claro investor where you could get whitelist spots for the fans whitelist spots, yeah. Yeah,
exactly. And we have a lot of people that are asking already for whitelist spots for the musician tokens, but there's no announcement date yet for the first musician we're launching, which is going to be Cartier God. That is to be announced, but that will be within a couple weeks, but no final date yet. So I'm just going to go over a little bit of the tokenomics of the Signed token itself. We have 5% going to stakeholder rewards, 8% going to the Signed development team, 25% going to initial liquidity, 30% going to the market generation event, 1.8% going to future liquidity, 9.1% going to the private sale, 5% going to control burns, and 16% going to marketing and ad spend. So if we look at the rewards we're giving to stakeholders, 5% of the total supply has been allocated to stakeholder rewards. So that's about 2,083 Signed token released once per week for 6 months, 24 different payouts. And we are doing the similar model for burns over a 6-month period of 24 burns of 2,083 Signed a week. The tokenomics for the Signed token are as follows. 10% goes to liquidity, 49% goes to stakers, 25% to burn, 15% to assign vault, and 1% sent to devs. So going over stakeholder rewards for staking the Signed token is 49% of all transaction taxes that Signed creates go back to stakers. In addition to this, 5% of the entire supply of Signed will also receive revenue generated So every single person who stakes sign token is paid out from those musicians too, which is probably the largest reason to stake. Every single time the musicians' royalties pay out, or whatever monetary thing they may back the token with pays out, a percentage of that goes back to the signed stakers. Same goes for every single time a musician is talking about pre-sale. Every single time they go through their pre-sale and market generation event, a percentage back to signed stakers. And every single time a trade occurs within a musician's token, a percent goes back to the signed token. So an investment into the signed token, like I said earlier, truly is an investment into all of the platforms on our platform. And we are projected to hit at least 100 musicians on this platform by the end of the year. Like I said, we have 650 on our legacy, and we have a very long wait list. We're just launching with 5 now, just to play it safe and, start with what we know we can handle now. But this thing is very scalable, and we have a lot of interest from musicians. This is something that I'm very excited to bring to market, and I know that everyone who's following is very excited to see it too. Musicians really like it, and we'll hear from the musicians in the call later about it and their opinions on it. But yeah. And the final stakeholder reward is that 50,000 signed that's going to be released at a rate of 2,083 tokens per week. So those are the 3 main rewards that we'll be feeding back to stakeholders for the signed token.
Exciting. Are you the first project to actually do where artists own their own tokens? That seems an amazing idea.
I think someone has mentioned there may be something similar out there. There's projects that have created NFTs where if you own the NFT, some of the royalties come back to you. But on this level where it's like this, no, not that I know of, where musicians have their own token instead of just an NFT. It's a token that can be, it's essentially an asset that everything a musician does that creates any revenue or profit feeds back into to all stakeholders of that token. I mean, this is done on a much larger scale than, owning an NFT that pays royalties. This is a token that could be backed by hundreds of different NFTs and ticket sales and royalties. Literally anything a musician does that they choose to have payback investors, we distribute it as the company have signed, make sure all the contracts are good to go, make sure all the investors are safe, and then it just pays out all the token holders. So to answer your question, no, nothing like this is done. And we're the first to come to market with it. And this is just solving a problem that exists that really should have already existed. So I'm really happy to get this out. I'm really excited to help a lot of musicians earn and raise all the money that they deserve.
Amazing idea. And the artists will bring the fans onto the platform, so that's free marketing for
yes.
sign trade as well, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Are you looking at advertising mainly in the music genre on the platform as well in the future?
Well, we currently have kind of like a niche interest, just simply due to how I've been reaching out to musicians. It's just I found that the musicians that are most interested right now are kind of like in the hip hop scene. Like four out of the 5. I mean, hip hop is a broad term, and I'm not trying to label any musician as just that. I mean, they're very experimental and they're different in their music, but that type of sound is what we've accrued most of the musicians for, or that type of sound. HM Surf is a beat maker, but yeah, it's not like we only focus on that. I mean, the platform is built for any type of genre. This is scalable to any type of musician. Even if you're a small musician or a big musician, the value in creating your token is huge regardless. If you're a small musician with a fan base of, 10,000 monthly listeners, and you need some money to get some equipment to continue making some music, and you can promise to investors you're going to put out another album, this is the platform for investors to want to put money into you because they believe in you and your music. And it's not even just like it's charity. It's like, okay, I believe in your music and I think that you're going to make a lot of money in this music. I want a piece of that too. And that's going to really incentivize a lot of fans to help out musicians financially and get musicians on their feet. Now, the flip side is, you may ask, what about a musician who is already famous? They've already got a bunch of money in the world. Why would they want to do this? Is this only built for underground musicians? And the answer to that is no. I mean, musicians that are large, they still are always facing problems with labels. I mean, we hear about it every single day. So this eliminates the need for a label, as the majority of reasons why musicians sign to a label is for the large loan that labels give them. In this way, you are, in a sense, being invested in by your fans, and your fans believe in you and the money that you'll accrue in your brand as a musician. So it's a platform that pretty much solves the majority of issues in the music space. And yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys, Kaz here, creator of Sidekick Finance. We're part with these guys in launching them. Yeah, Sign Trade platform has a lot to it. What they're launching with is just like the tip of the iceberg. I mean, they're trying to launch with 100 artists, each with their own token, all under Sign token, all paying back royalties and fees to the Sign token. Keep in mind, the Sign token's a low supply token, 1 million tokens at launch, 5% going to be burned over the next 6 months, 25% burned on each transaction. And again, it's only 1 million tokens. So, this thing's going to pump in the long run. The more and more artists we get on there. And then, how we're seeing it is like, this is a platform that's going to be able to grow. Like, they're going to be able to build dashboards. They're going to be able to build like a coin market cap of artist tokens, where you can come to the Sign platform and kind of search for the top artist tokens and see which artist tokens are trending, which artist tokens are doing well. And I mean, it's the long-term plan for this is pretty in depth.
Yeah.
Hey guys, real quick, before I interrupt, I keep having issues with the Telegram. I keep getting TG rugged, but I do see an individual in the chat, GIANES. That is the same individual that we kicked out earlier. Keeps raising his hand. That was the derogatory stuff on the Sign platform. He is in the channel under the name GIANES. Just because I keep seeing it, and I don't want him raise his hand and get him get unmuted.
He won't be unmuted there, but yeah, if we can throw him out. Giannis, yeah, he's gone now. Yeah, that's great. Okay, I was just wondering as well, with artists bringing the fans onto the platform, if there'll be recommendations for fans so they can find similar genre music in the future.
Yeah, like, do you mean, you have money backing Cartier God, something that comes up that says like, you may like musicians like this, to look into
that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, 100%. We get a lot of data from multiple different streaming platforms, so that information is all available to us, and that's just something that we need to implement. It's not a matter of if we can, it's a matter of when. This thing is, there's a lot of different things that you can implement with this, which is really a good sign of a good project. I mean, you can implement something that shows the news of a specific musician to see, what things are coming up about them to kind of influence trade. And you can also, something that I'm excited and looking towards is once we garner enough musicians, into the year when we have 100, 200 musicians, we can actually start to index entire music genres. So based on how well musicians are that are labeled like rock or hip hop, you could essentially, in a way, almost invest to what is almost like a mutual fund of a specific genre. So it's like, I could hold tokens of every musician that makes rock music on the platform. So I'm basically, I'm collecting royalties from a whole entire genre, or rap or whatever. Another thing,
just to add on, like this is bear market proof passive income. The royalties coming from musicians, they're going to be making music, and as long as fans listen to music, they're going to be making royalties. And the bear market has no effect on the passive income that's going to come from Sign Trade, which is a huge bonus.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really out there that makes a connection between fan and musician where I love listening to the music. Now I get to listen to the music and know I'm making passive income from listening to it. Like, that's really an amazing thing that I'm just glad that I'm getting to bring to market for music fans to get to experience.
What's the T's and C's for the artists? I mean, I'm just imagining if one blew up and they were like Dr. Dre, they might just leave the token and go and make music elsewhere or something, which would affect the price of the token. Obviously, prices can go up and down, but yeah, in the future, are they signed up to so many albums, or how does it work?
Yeah, so each song that is staked by the token is signed by an agreement of distribution, and agreement of distribution essentially says, like, we are the only ones who can exclusively collect the royalties and distribute this song for this amount of time. So if a musician, we're distributing a song for them and they blow up, well, they can't just have us pull the song down. We don't collect royalties on it anymore. we still are legally bound to collect the royalties on that track and pay out investors. So investors are safe in that sense. Now, if a musician blew up and they decided, I'm going to sign to a label and they don't want to distribute through us anymore, we are only in agreement to whatever songs they staked with us. So that is up to the musician. However, I truly believe that once musicians see how much fans believe in them and investment they'll get and the backing that they'll receive, and they see how nice it is to be independent of any type of label obligations, and then they get to keep all of their art 100%, I don't think that would happen. I think that they would prefer to receive funding from their fans than from an institution. And I mean, you can ask the musicians here tonight that. I mean, they're going to say the same thing.
Yeah, I'll just add on. It's going to be a lot of educating and just kind of showing the musicians about DeFi and basically educating the musician on the fact that now they have their own token. Owning your own token is like owning your own freedom. It's like, you don't want to kill your golden goose. You know what I mean? You want to make sure that golden goose keeps producing golden eggs. And if we can just show these artists that, hey, we just gave you a golden goose, take care of it, pump it with royalties, feed it well, and, you're going to be rich forever. You know what I mean? And so I think one of the big things, yeah. And it's like one of the big things, like you said, is the free marketing from the artists. Like they already have fan bases well over all of our Telegram groups combined. HM Surf has 2 million monthly listeners right now. You know what I mean? Like on one platform. So it's like, we're one of our strategies is going to be hardcore focusing on the artists and just educating them and really helping them to understand what they have, how to promote it, how to get their fans involved. And we think that'll be a big, once these guys see like, okay, wow, I'm making passive income and I just did a 10x on my token. I should add more songs to this thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, the token's going to be supported in the future because you're getting the royalties from the back catalogue. So if someone becomes a top 50, rapper in the world, then all that back catalogue is still gaining royalties. So the token price will be supported by that. Yeah,
exactly. If a musician blows up and they decide, in worst case scenario, they don't want to work with us anymore, we still have the agreement of distribution on that back catalog. So that will still go up in streaming value and royalties.
And it's also a big education for the fans. It's like, listen, you can invest in your artist now and literally make passive income by listening to your favorite artist. It's insane. This is revolutionary shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
You're building an NFT marketplace as well to tie in with the platform, yeah.
Yep. So that's one of the reasons why we started out on the Polygon chain is because of their ties to OpenSea. So we'll also be allowing musicians to make their own NFTs all through Signed, and that all ties back into this token. So there's a whole entire new incentive for NFTs now. Like if I own Cartier God token, I'm going to want that NFT to trade well. But yeah.
We can open it up to the rest of the team if anyone's got any questions for Sign Trade team here.
Hey Glenn, yeah, I was listening in, and you guys are building something really incredible. It's great for crypto and it's great for musicians too. You're tapping into an industry in a different way, because what you're doing is basically offering them a turnkey solution where they no longer need people to either buy their albums or whatever. It's like, we're on this marketplace here. If you want to get involved, it's like, buy a little bit of the token, because if you like something and you trust it, it will grow because it will generate hype through the music and through the artists. And you also mentioned, like, sure, there's only 3 or 5 or 10, whatever you're launching with, right? But as you move forward, I can imagine like the whole onboarding process of new artists could get so much easier, to the point where they can just sign up themselves and have the token readily available and all that. So yeah, it's looking super nice.
Yeah, that's exactly what our vision is within the year, is so that there isn't even the need for the middleman of us having to set everything up. They can create and make their own token all through the website. Now, there is going to have to be the process of them sending in their music and us distributing it and everything. But when it comes to just like being able to get in there, they get in, they submit their music, we approve it, then they can do everything else on their own.
Yeah, I can see it as a huge opportunity because some of these music artists, yeah, they're great. They're doing their own thing. It's incredible, but they might not even know what staking is, let alone build a staking contract themselves, right? So when they come
Right.
here, it's like you're combining music with crypto in a way that hasn't been really done before. So I think it has like huge potential, and not
Yeah,
only
we're trying
for
to
the
figure
big
it out.
artists. Yes, sorry, I was cutting you off. I can see it like even if you have a lot of smaller artists, they can just feed off of each other, and you're creating this whole ecosystem where people are really progressive, and music is progressing all the time, right? So you're combining the best of both worlds. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, and I'm assuming um, you also help them out with the initial kind of marketing on the crypto side and all that. You're bringing your own expertise into this, which they might not have, right? So again, it's like a huge plus for all these musicians.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly it. And yeah, we are helping every single musician with onboarding and everything. We have entire teams to help with marketing and kind of explain everything to them. And yeah, it's a very exciting thing.
Yeah, it is.
Also,
And
the
oh, sorry, go ahead, Glenn.
I was just going to say, yeah, the royalty side, you must be far better value on the royalty side than if they sign to a record label. It'll take half their money or something like that.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, like most labels ask for 50 to 80% of your royalties, and also labels they give you a big loan as a musician. It's not like they give you a bunch of money. It's a loan that you have to pay back with your music over time. And sometimes they ask you to give up your intellectual property and masters along with it. I mean, this is like you're free as a musician. You're just making money from your music, and you're paying out everyone who believes in you for doing it. So it's truly like a way to be financially free as a musician without needing any institutional backing.
Yeah, it's really multifaceted. I mean, it's like it's all that stuff, but it's like also they're raising money in decentralized finance. These guys get to basically raise new money in a completely decentralized financial way. No banks, no government can touch it. You know what I mean? Like they're basically going to raise Cayman Island money for their music. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not
So yeah,
only for
mm,
it's what I was gonna say, Glenn, and I'll step aside. I'll will take community questions. I was gonna say it's great for the big artists, right, which already have a following, and it might be easier for them to put something like this forward. But I see it as something tremendous even for the smaller artists, if not for their appreciation of their tokens, but at least being involved in a marketplace where this thing is possible. So they get this extra exposure coming for free. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's super
No, it's
interesting.
exactly. It's a super scalable project. I mean, it's literally like I said, meant for any size musician. It's beneficial to every type, you know. And as an investor, the same. I mean, okay, it's like a big musician. They may have a safer token, but the likelihood of it mooning is not as high as investing in a smaller musician. So it is like its own micro economy, and it's really the way to push independence and move music forward. Because I mean, musicians have been able to garner fan bases and everything with the internet. They've been able to get their own fan. They didn't need help from labels anymore to get their mixtape out there or anything like that. Like it's switched now where musicians get all the fans on their own, and then they hope that a label will buy them out for a huge loan when they already did the hard part. So it's like, why is that how it works? That isn't should be how it works. It should be you have fans, and you have a financial backing of the fans who want to put money back to back you because they know that you'll pay out. So this is that solution.
Hmm.
Thank you, Satoshi.
Hmm.
yeah, it's amazing. It's crypto inside crypto in a way because the platform could just be the next DeFi that people come in, fans, investors find new bands and want to see the next token that's going to skyrocket based on the artist's music as well. So it's very exciting stuff.
Yeah. I know we have all the musicians here. I don't know if we want to bring them up and talk or anything, or if we just want to leave the floor open if anyone has questions for them.
Yeah, go ahead. And any musician want to jump in?
Maybe they can tell us how they decided to use the platform. What was their main driving point? Was it the crypto aspect? Was it the possibility of I don't know, higher gains, or was it just because it's something super cool and it's new?
Yeah. Do any of you want to answer?
Hey there, I'll speak up.
It's Joey. Hey, Joey.
My name is Joey. I'm an artist from Providence, Rhode Island. I originally got in on the Sign project with the Legacy platform, and I believe I was one of the first artists to raise money through that with my fans. And I've been into crypto for a few years now, investing myself. And as soon as I seen that Ashton was, incorporating crypto into it, and that I would be able to have my own coin, I was very excited about that because that's a very good, I think, marketing strategy for artists as well, for them to have their own coin. That's exciting. And yeah, since as soon as I seen it, I wanted to be on board immediately.
Yeah, and Joey, I know you said before, like the song that we put out, Dillard's Order Confirmation, you felt like a large push to kind of get that song out there and like get some streams for it. Now that you have this new financial incentive, and you have a new financial incentive for your fans, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that song has performed better than any song I've ever released, and it's I've gained, I think I went from 2,000 monthly listeners on Spotify to it's over 7,000 now since I dropped the song. And just having the coin, and just the idea, knowing that song, all the revenue is backed by my own coin, is really making me push it and want to get the numbers up.
Right. I mean, it's always been that only the really musician cared if the numbers went up. Fans haven't ever really cared if the numbers went up. They just listened for the song and like. But now there's kind of a new connection where like a fan's like, yeah, I love this song, but also like let's get these numbers up because I'm getting paid out for these numbers too. So it's like a double incentive to get your music to get bigger. So it's great for the musician. And for the
right, exactly. And I'm excited for my coin to release One Man, because once people actually are invested in seeing that, like their my plays are making them money, it's just kind of like an endless loop of them wanting to promote and post my music more and me wanting to do the same.
And you were in talks about backing it with an NFT you're thinking of launching, right?
Yes, I have a lot of ideas for ways to use my coin with merch and stuff and ticket sales. I'm very interested in all of that. So
yeah, thanks, Joey.
The small, medium, and large musicians as well, because they've been decimated for the last 2 years with the pandemic, not being able to tour and do the pubs and clubs. And that's how, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, that's how you got known doing your touring. And the last few years, it's been so hard. So now they can launch a token on your platform, get the name out there, and the next big thing can be found digitally, whether they can tour or not.
Yeah.
Shoot, I mean, they could sell NFT tickets and do metaverse tours even. So
yeah,
guys, limit.
Definitely.
I know Joey just did a concert in Minecraft, I think. So we're headed that way.
Oh, that's insane.
Yes, I did. I have I think I have an honorary NFT being made, so I might try to see if I can incorporate that with my own coin.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Any other questions for any musicians? We've got them all with us today.
I think HM Surf is muted still, guys, right now.
Oh, HM Surf, could you raise your hand?
HM Surf, I've just unmuted you there. Hi.
Yeah. I'm back.
Hey, Surf, did you have something to say? HM Surf is from Norway, so I think it's... What time is it over there?
It's getting around 9 o'clock now.
Yeah, not too bad.
But I was just raising my hand I was getting back into the chat. I didn't have anything particular to say. But if anyone has any questions or anything, feel free to shoot.
Okay, well, we've got lots of questions from investors. Maybe I could let one of them ask a question. Aisha, you had a question for the sign trade team or artists?
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. Okay, my question to Sign Train team is that do you guys have any plan of organizing live concerts where singers you are working with, if they want to perform live?
Yes, definitely, 100%. That's something that's just going to come with time. But yeah, that's something that I've been looking into, and yeah, we have plans for musicians that are on our platform. That goes for special marketing and special events and things like that. So, in short, yes.
Okay, that's great. And will musicians around the world be able to use your platform and create their own coins, or will it be restricted to some countries or regions?
No, it's DeFi, so any musician around the world can join. Like I said, Surf is in Norway. Everyone else is in America, but anyone can join. There's no restrictions.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for answering my questions.
Thank you for your questions.
Okay, great. And Syed, you had a question. The Sign Trade team, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. So I want to know that if any musician want to join your platform and sign agreement to create their own coins and music, do they have to be your native token holder, or it's not necessary?
It's not necessary for them to hold to the native token. Actually, each musician that we decide to work with us and create their token, they have a signing bonus of owning a share in the sign token. So every single musician has a shared incentive for the sign platform to do well because they own a piece of the company in a sense of the token.
Okay, got it. So I also want to know that will only be musicians be able to use your platform and create their tokens and have fan following, or in future you are also thinking about allowing other influencers or people who have different kind of talents to create their token and have fan following?
That is a good question, and that's so yes, in short, yes. Within the year, we're focusing mainly on musicians, getting to 100 musicians, 200 musicians. But a wide lens looking out. This is a platform that can really be used for any type of internet creative to gain any type of backing. I mean, all of these different creatives on the internet, Twitch streamers, YouTubers, OnlyFans, all of these people, they have fan bases of people that support them and want to watch them or whatever, pay for them, or they have a vested interest in them, and they would love to invest in them and who they are in their future. So yes, in short, 100%, we are looking to add in all different types. All these different creatives all have different types of revenue streams that come in to back them that we can distribute for any kind. Like YouTube, for example, we post the video and how many clicks and views it gets goes back into feed a YouTuber's token. But right now we are focusing on music. That is currently what we're focused on. But yes, we are looking into doing that.
Yeah, that's great. Especially integrating YouTubers will be a great thing. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the question. Great question.
Like authors doing audio books on the platform, and you could have comedians doing concerts. Yeah, all sorts you can branch out into.
Yeah, there's so much potential to this project. It's hard not to get lost in all of the things you can do.
And Venice, you had a question for Sign Trade team. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, I do have a question, and I want to know that if there's some musician who want to list his token on your platform, but in future he want to delist his token from your platform and request you to remove his token from your platform, then will you allow it, and on what basis will you allow him to remove his token from your project?
So we have the agreement of distribution that we sign with the musicians that states, we are the only ones who exclusively distribute this song for this amount of time. As long as that is up, the token will be live. I mean, the token will be up.
Yeah, let me help you out. I mean, so listen, man, once we deploy these tokens, this is blockchain. They'll be deployed and tradable on dexes like QuickSwap, like PancakeSwap, like Uniswap. So, once you deploy a token, there's no taking it off. And I think it's going to be that's where the whole educating the artist comes in, and just kind of letting people and the artists and the creatives understand DeFi and exactly what they have, which is, a golden goose of passive income and investment, and really helping them to understand and show them how to take care of it and why they want to, keep it going.
The only thing that could go a musician decides they don't want to do it anymore for whatever reason. I don't know why that would ever happen, but let's say that they did. We would still have the agreement of distribution for all of those back catalogs that's paying out to investors. So the only thing that you would lose is potential future releases.
So can we go? Okay, Venice. Can we go into the auditing? Are you planning an audit before launch or after launch for the token?
So SignTrade's launching the ERC 31337 standard, which is the same token standard that Sidekick uses, Hobbs Network, HFuel, UpCrow. Tons of people use the standard, and it has been audited. So they are using an audited token.
And what's the size of the core team?
What's the what with the core team?
The size of the core team. Yeah.
So Sidekick Finance, we're helping them on the crypto side. We're helping them launch the tokens. We're helping with contracts, basically anything from the technology side. And then Ashton and his team they've been building the platform longer than we've actually launched our token. So he's got his own dev team. And Ashton, I guess you can speak on that.
Yeah. So like I said, I've been building this platform for about 2 years, building a community of musicians. We have 650 musicians on the legacy. We launched our beta in 2021 of January. We've got about 3.3 thousand followers on Instagram. That's where we did the majority of our communications with musicians. We are somewhat known in the underground hip hop scene by different people. So there is a community now, but this thing is just looking to blow once the musician tokens start releasing.
Definitely. And what's the marketing plans going forward for the platform and the signed token in the future?
Right. So one of the great things about this platform is a lot of the marketing does itself. Like a musician releases a song or an album, whatever you think that they choose to back the token with. Of course, they're going to want to let all of their fans know about it. We've already seen it with Cartier God. He's been releasing tweets and stuff regarding his Love Me album, which is coming out actually later today. And everyone, please stream that. 50% royalties go back to the token. It's got 110 likes on Twitter, like 50 retweets. So, that's just one musician. We've got Joey's also tweeting about it, getting so much notoriety on Twitter and Instagram. These musicians have thousands of followers on these platforms. Big Flame, HM Surf, Marlon, all of them talking about it. The music that's coming out, all coming into back their token, all coming back into back signed. So that's one aspect of the marketing is word of mouth for musicians. And word of mouth is, of course, probably the best type of marketing. The other marketing that we have is we're using a lot of the sign token to influence, refer a musician type of platform where you get another musician referred, and on the platform, they both have sign token for doing so. So not only do we get more musicians that we want on the platform, but also every single musician has a vested interest in the platform because they own a piece of signed token. Another strategy that we have is we're working with Big Flame on street teams out in LA and New York who have done guerrilla marketing for teams such as Suicide Boys and other mainstream musicians. Actually, is Vic there? Vic, are you there?
Yeah, what's up?
Could you go into that marketing team?
Yeah, so I have a good friend that I know from the internet, and she works doing clerical stuff, like writing up proposals and whatnot for this marketing firm. I keep forgetting the name, but the CEO of it is this really OG graffiti guy, and he has a really good thing going on. He has people out in pretty much every major city in America, people out in Australia, Canada. So and their business model is really scalable too. So you could do a campaign for 5,000, you could do a campaign for 50,000, and they kind of cover a lot of bases, like pretty much anything in the street marketing realm that you could want from them, they can do. And she's ready to write up a proposal pretty much whenever. So that can be set into motion pretty much at the whim of Ashton. So.
Right. And and they have ties with a lot of major musicians, so they're hitting the exact type of demographic that we want to.
Exactly. Yeah. They did a campaign with Ryder Rips for one of his NFT things a few months ago as well.
Yeah. Crypto music. It's exactly the type of marketing that we want.
Yeah. Exactly. That's their whole thing. So.
Right. So yeah, and we'll be using a large share of the supply of the token for marketing as well. Like I was saying with the refer a musician thing, we'll also be doing airdrops and other sort of incentives.
Super exciting. And I'm looking at the pre-sale now. Is the whitelist spots to win? What's the soft cap, hard cap, and whereabouts are you doing the pre-sale for signed token?
Right. So everyone, the pre-sale is on sign.trade right now. Anyone can contribute that has a whitelist on the platform now. The hard cap is at 180,000 Matic. It looks like we're at 152. So we're about 30K Matic away from hitting hard cap. Hard cap ends on Saturday, or the pre-sale ends on Saturday until hard cap is met. So we've already hit soft cap. Yeah. I don't know, Kaz, you want to say anything there?
Yeah, I think our soft cap was about 200K USD. We passed that, so yeah, we're good to go. We did a private sale round. We raised $50,000 in the private sale. So these guys are bootstrapped. They got money to spend on ads. I think Ashton already got some ads running, and yeah, man, we're just gonna really. I think the next step is really once again focusing on the artists and really helping to educate the artists on the DeFi and get their fans involved.
Yeah, and to double up on what you asked about marketing, another marketing strategy that I forgot to mention is we'll be working with a lot of music magazines and music media outlets. Like if you go on Sheesh Media right now, we have an ad running with them, and we're working on a partnership, and they're a relatively popular group that puts out interviews and stuff with musicians, and we're looking to partner with them and perhaps do exclusive interviews with the musicians we launch with, so they're sharing, you know, they're getting the musicians out there, their music out there, and they're getting signed out there. It's all kind of incorporated into one. So it's like people are like, they're reading about the musician, they're listening to the music, and they don't even realize that the song that they're listening to now, because that we have a partnership with Sheesh, is paying out all stakeholders of that musician's token. So we're working to have a lot more partnerships with a lot of underground and like well-known music magazines and media companies like Daily Achievers or, you know, something like that, Fader. But we have already started a partnership with Sheesh.
Awesome. And did you say it's a public sale now, so anyone investors can come in and contribute?
No, we're still in pre-sale, but we are giving out whitelists. I don't know, Kaz, how many are we looking to give out?
So yeah, it is whitelisted right now. Just and that's mainly just to make sure we get the investors we want. And there's a max contribution of 1,200 Matic per person. So we can give you guys as many whitelists as you need. But again, there is only 30K left until the hard cap. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, many of our investors would like to get involved, and the market cap on launch will be about 400K, maybe, will it? Around.
So market cap on launch is going to be, it's 1 million tokens, and we're looking to launch at about 85 cents. So market cap would be about 850K. Or wait, no, yeah, 850K.
Right. Well, yeah, I always say anyone listening back to recording, we can get you safely over to the Sign Trade Telegram. If you've got any questions, if you're listening to the recording later or you didn't get a chance to answer here, unfortunately, we've run out of time here now. But yeah, it's a super exciting project. I've done 380 AMAs, I think, now, and it's one of the top 10 AMAs and exciting, unique ideas that our investors would really want to get involved in, and really super bullish on this project and the artists coming on board. And yeah, super exciting. It's great that you could come today, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yep, appreciate you guys having us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you for coming.